Hey, everybody. Welcome to Sunday service, August 21st, 2022. If you didn't know by now, the year is almost over. It's kind of crazy. And by the way, in 1 month from today, interest rates are going to go up again, a full percentage, which actually is not a great situation, right? Because a lot of people like on Bigger Pockets and Ken McElroy and a bunch of my buddies are like, oh, the market's not going to crash. The market's not going to crash. Guys, I don't know what a market crash looks like, feels like, smells like, but if your listings triple, right, the amount of available properties on the market triples or even quadruples within a couple of month time frame, and then you also start seeing properties drop 10, 15%, when do you start calling it a crash? What do you think, Cody?
I think the technical on calling it a crash is if prices drop more than 20%, but I don't know if that's in a year. Or is that not right?
100% prices of houses are going to drop 20% in a 12-month time frame.
You think so?
I mean, bro, we're already seeing it on flips. Jamil is seeing it on his flips. How many active listings have we? What does MLS show you? Can you pull up MLS?
Yeah, let me
Tell me. Can you tell me how many active? That's all right. Can you tell me how many active listings we had in January and now how many active listings we have right now, just in Maricopa?
I already know from January because I've been watching it every month. Back at the beginning of the year, we had like 38. It was about 3,800.
3,800 listings. Active properties on the MLS. That's all we had was 3,800.
Yeah.
Holy shnikes.
I've never seen it that low before. And just for context, I worked as a real estate agent back in, this is probably like 2015, 2016. And normally I remember logging in to the Arizona multiple listing service and seeing 14 to 17,000 listings. That was pretty normal. So like seeing it from that, some years ago, that low all the way up to, or that at that number, and seeing it all the way down to 3,800 was pretty crazy. Like it was honestly absurd seeing that to me. And as of today, we're at 19,684.
Okay. All right. Think about this, guys. And we'll tie it into what we're doing, what you guys should be doing, all that kind of stuff. I mean, I'm neither one of the, like, I'm not the salacious guy. There's a guy on YouTube called Reventure. Oh my gosh, that guy has never done a positive video in his entire life.
Doom and gloom. I watched one of his videos and I was like, I can't watch those again because it made me think so negatively that it would make me want to not take action if I watch that every day.
Yeah, but what he does is he basically goes and finds minute data points in markets and does an entire YouTube video on it.
Yeah.
And then he gets people excited and they go, I need to have access to this data. What does he do for a living?
YouTube?
He sells data. He sells real estate analysis data, and he does consulting on real estate analysis. Doom and gloom, guys, will get you way more views, way more clicks than you'll ever have somebody going, oh my gosh, I just did a deal. People couldn't give a shit whether you did a deal or not. They're like, yo, I want to hear how everything crashed and burned. I want to justify my situation in life, and I want to hear other people talking negatively so I don't feel so bad about myself. It's a weird human thing, man. It's crazy. Sorry for cussing.
Misery loves company.
Yeah, it's crazy. If you guys are watching him, he actually is really good. He's articulate. What I do like about him, I'll give him some compliments because I don't just want to be the guy talking schmack. But I do like that he is consistent. Most people trying to build a brand aren't consistent. This guy's consistent, and he's consistent at talking schmack. All right. Ooh, I got to watch that. The Dodge Ram Charger is how SUVs used to be. All right, cool. I'm into that. Let's do Reventure. Okay, so 2 days ago, home sales collapsed to a 10-year low. Realtors freaking out.
Collapse.
Gosh, this guy's great. I need this I need to be this guy. Joined as our Reventure channel member, Redfin Homes. Okay, so If you go to his website, which I'm okay. I want everybody selling a product, right? As long as it's helping people and whatnot. But this dude gets a lot of views by reading public data, but making it. The last video he posted has realtors freaking out in brackets. I mean, damn, that's crazy, right?
I think there are realtors that are freaking out, though, in his defense. So it's like looking at that, there are definitely realtors that are freaking out. It's the ones that have gotten into the business and business has been easy. It's been
Yeah.
easy for real estate agents these last couple of years.
Yeah. It's amazing actually. If you guys like stuff like that, I'm curious where that energy and that vibration takes you the rest of the day. Like if you're watching that type of content around the real estate market, what that asshole and what Dave Ramsey should be, and I say asshole lovingly. Sorry, I shouldn't be cussing on Sunday service. So he's very smart. He's articulate. He's a great marketer. He's amazing. And I don't hate him for any of that stuff. I don't hate him at all. Okay. I understand his business model. His business model is like McDonald's isn't trying to be a healthy fast food joint. You know what I'm saying? Like they're just leaning into exactly what they are. This guy he looks at the market, he goes, okay, what are the videos getting the most clicks? And this is why every freaking, and even our team is now doing this on YouTube. That's why every thumbnail is this. Right? It's like, oh, because they've scientifically proven that us idiots will click on that over somebody going like this. It's scientifically proven how stupid we are as human beings that we will rather click on versus right? Nobody wants good news. They want bad news. They want to justify their crappy situation in life and why they haven't done anything with it. So I don't hate him for that. He's leaned into it and he's clicked around and goes, oh, this is great data. Oh my gosh. The people that get the most views are the ones that are selling despair, hate, envy, death, everything. I'm going to get better at that. And you know what? He's genius. He's genius for doing it, and I don't hate him, but I'm just letting you guys know, if you were a Dave Ramsey fan, why is Dave Ramsey not teaching people how to make money instead of, you know what, guys, you guys need to go to your 9-to-5 job, work on getting a promotion, and save your money. It's like, teach these people how to make a couple extra bucks every month. You ever hear Dave Ramsey breaking down another business model?
No, and I think the thing that when you look at Dave Ramsey, it's like he's just leaning into that market, which there are significantly more people that are just a total financial mess than there are people that are willing to take action to make a little bit more money by something that they're going to learn. So I think he's just, really fully leaned into that. And looking at RE Venture as well, how do you roll that pace for somebody that's watching? Like I saw at the beginning there's a couple people that are like, this is my first Sunday service ever. How do you roll that information of someone that is they've now watched that content, they're watching this doom and gloom in the real estate world? Where do we take it from there to actually roll that into something positive? Like here getting on at the beginning, people are like, the market's going to drop 20%. I'm just starting my journey, like, should I even be doing this? Because I'm sure there's people that are thinking that now,
I'm more excited about the current market than I was a year or a year and a half ago when you and I we could make the worst decisions on buying a fix and flip and still make money. Our team could still go over project budgets and we still make money, right? All that stuff was very true. And fixing and flipping is going to be more challenging for the next year, maybe 2 years. See, this is what I like about Dave Ramsey right here. Raphael, okay? Thank you for pointing this out. Dave Ramsey helped me get my stuff together. Sunday service teaches me to build real wealth. So I really like Dave Ramsey. I tell people all the time, I like 99% of what Dave Ramsey says. What I just feel like he's missing is teach people how to make more money.
The next stage, like it should be like Dave Ramsey, like, all right, you finished Financial Peace University. You're not a financial disaster. Stage 2, Financial Wealth University. Let's build wealth now.
I wonder if he has any of that kind of stuff. Like, okay, because I'm working on Asher's channel right now to talk about like trailer rentals, an e-com store, YouTube automation. We're gonna do like a candy vending machine thing. We're currently looking at a laundromat, looking at a whole bunch of like side hustles for younger people to get into.
Yeah.
And I'm like, a lot of these don't really even cost that much money to get into. And then I look at like wholesaling, like getting your hands on a wholesale deal costs nothing to get into. It's like, why isn't he teaching those types of things? Right.
Right.
But anyway, the reason why he's not teaching those things is because he's figured out his niche and he's a great marketer, and Reventure Consulting is also a wonderful marketer, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. But I just want you guys to. Pam Clary says, "Do you want a hula lounge?" I don't know what that is. Is
I
it a
think she
bunch
means
of?
hookah. I think she means hookah lounge.
No, I want nothing to do with something that I know nothing about. I know nothing about do you know about hookah lounges?
I've been to some hookah lounges, and like it's cool for about 15 minutes until you're smoking the hookah, and then you get like a headache, and then it's like, why am I still here? But no hate to those that like to go to hookah lounges, but that's just my experience.
What do you mean?
I don't
Yeah,
like
and anybody with brown skin loves hookah but lounges. That's all there is to it.
You're not wrong.
I was at what's his name? Carlos Reyes and his partner. What's his name? Sal. I was at Sal's house, and they just like have hookahs laying around.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm like, what's up with this, dude? And he's like, bro, this is brown skin life. This is what we do over here. I'm like, all right, sounds good. So here's a question that I really like. So Ryder Tarantino here, look, Cody, let me think about vending machines as a business for just a moment. Okay.
Yep.
Think about it, and I want you to answer these questions. I want you to rate them from 0 to 10. Okay.
All right, let's do it.
0 to 10. And hold on, let me make sure that I can give everybody this view. Okay. So number 1. Let's judge this on the physical nature of the business. In terms of physical nature, like I have to get out, leave my house, go fill the vending machines, go buy the stuff, go to Costco, deal with the quarters, go change, the physical nature of this business of vending machines. Would you say this is a 0, or would you say this is a 10, or somewhere in between?
I would say, like, because you're not doing it every day, it could be a little bit less physical, but I would say it's a 6 or 7 if you're doing it solo and that's your venture and you have a bunch of them. You're running around, you're stocking them, you're collecting quarters, you're going to the bank, depositing at the bank. Obviously, you could scale it to a point where you could have someone do that for you, but most people won't. They're going to have it as their side hustle route.
Right, because vending machines is not. I wouldn't look at vending. Have you ever like ran into people at our real estate meetups that are? I'm like, how'd you get all your money for your down payments? They're like, oh, dude, vending machines. I'm crushing it on vending machines.
No. I had my dad had a client of his in his business that did vending machines, and he had like 60 or 70 of them and made decent money. I think he was netting maybe 60, 70 grand a year. But it's
oh my gosh,
that's a lot of vending machines.
That's a lot of vending machines. He must have had employees and overhead. So your your rating on this is it's on a physical level is 6 to 7. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's compare this to, let's say we'll do a column right here is vending machines. And I'm not saying it's not a good business model. I'm just saying, let's compare it to real estate. Okay. Like, let's say wholesaling cash or creative deals, right?
Mm-hmm.
How physical in nature is wholesaling cash or creative finance deals?
I mean, physical. I mean, if you could do it all from home, so like -1.
Okay. Oh, I like that answer. That was really good. A -1. You could literally do it all from home. You don't even have to have a car. Okay.
Yeah.
You don't have to have. You don't even have to be 16 years old. You could literally wholesale as a 14-year-old, right?
Yeah. Tyler said he talked to a seller that has 160 machines and only netting 2,000 a month.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Okay. So the second thing I want to talk about on this, the second question is barrier to entry. Okay. what is the barrier to entry level? What would you say is 0 to 10? 0 to 10, where would you put this on the level of like barrier of entry, 10 being incredibly hard, like you have to go to medical school for 16 years would be a 10. A 0 would be like, I don't even have to have teeth in my mouth to do this.
Vending machine, I would say, is a 0. Like there's not really much
bro, what about the cash to buy the shit?
I guess. All right. Let's call it a 2 or 3 because you can, put it on your credit card or your mom's credit card, and you could buy a used vending machine.
Okay, but what about getting a vending machine? You have to then go get a helper to put it in the back of a truck. You have to go then close somebody on, hey,
that's true. They need to have it, you need to be able to get it there. Yeah,
somebody has to have at least a driver's license.
Yeah, like I wouldn't say it's like so hard, but maybe 5.
Okay, we'll do a 5. Okay, I like a 5
because it's like just bare minimum. Like if you're a normal human that like you have like a driver's license, you can talk to other humans coherently and sometimes be able to convince them to do something with you. Like you'd probably have a decent shot at getting a vending machine in some location.
Okay, so barrier to entry for cash creative wholesaling deals.
I mean, as far as the actual monetary, you could do YouTube University, which people are listening in right now to. That is not much. It's really just the education level. And like you can just go and look for deals and bring potential deal opportunities to people that are smarter than you and have them help you structure them. So the barrier to enter to get started, I would say maybe 3 to 4, because there's not a big barrier. There's just the mental barrier that people have to overcome of like, I can go and find someone to help me get these deals done. And like just themselves getting out of their own way, I feel like is the biggest barrier to entry on this. Because if someone has the knowledge, they can just go and take action on it and start making money without it costing them a bunch of money.
But that would also be the same here, right? All of the mindset stuff of like, can I come up with the money? Can I go convince somebody to let me have a spot for their thing? And somebody's not going to break into my vending machine. All the mindset stuff. Like, is somebody going to go around me on my real estate deal? Is the same as, is somebody going to break through the glass on my vending machine and steal all my Snickers? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the same thought process. I feel like the barrier to entry here is definitely 5. I would assume that the barrier to entry here is probably a 1, maybe a 2 at most.
Yeah, it's definitely lower. It's just, there are some mental hurdles that people have to overcome. And just for a side note, for people thinking I'm laying on the floor, this is just in Costa Rica. They decided to put
I legit thought you were laying on the floor for the first 30 seconds.
No, this is normal here, I guess.
I loved it. All right. So third one, final one, okay, is profitability. Okay. Your profit, your ability to make money, low barrier to entry. And is it really physical or can really anybody do it? Right. Mm-hmm. So profitability on a vending machine.
I mean, in my opinion, like I wouldn't get out of bed for the money that people make on vending machines. So that's like a 1.
I'm going to give it a 1 as well. I was going to do a 0 to 1.
Yeah.
On the wholesale side, cash or creative deals, I would give that a 10.
Yeah.
Right. It's not the thing that you're going to make the most money on for the rest of your life. Yeah. Because at some point, the problem with this is that, here's the 4th rating. Here, the 4th rating final. Is it scalable? Okay. Can I scale it? Can I hire employees? Can I step away from it? I'm going to tell you guys a little secret that a lot of people are not going to like. Okay. Vending machine. Is it scalable? Is there enough profit margin that I can hire employees and step away and literally never touch that business ever again?
On the 1 to 10?
Yeah. 1 to 10. What are you thinking?
I would say a 4 or 5 because it can be done, but it's just the margins are so low on the profitability side. It's like, is it worth it for that? But
you'd have to have 17,000 machines.
Yeah, it's like you need so much, so it's like for the amount that you have to do, it's like there's a better vehicle to get in. And it's like these are vehicles that we're talking about. It's like you have a Ferrari, or you can like get in like the 1970 like beat up car. And it's like, what if you have a choice of vehicles, like pick the one that's going to help you get to your goal faster.
Right. So I would say on the wholesale side, I'm going to give, this is the answer that a lot of people are not going to want to hear. I'm going to give this on a scale of 0, meaning impossible to scale. Impossible. Meaning you're never stepping away from this business at all the way to a 10, which is this business could run entirely by itself. You never have to check in on it. You just have awesome operators. I'm going to give wholesale a 6.
I was going to say 6.5.
And the reason for this, now here's where it changes, is once you go from wholesale to buy and hold, a buy and hold, I would say legitimately you could get to a 9 or 10 on that model.
I would say 10 all day. Like, yes, you will have the issues of, things that just happen in a buy and hold model of doing business, but you can have a team that handles all of that.
Yeah.
And you can infinitely scale that.
Yes. Infinite scalability here for buy and hold. Wholesale, Cody, why would you say wholesale is hard to scale?
So, well, one of the things is like, again, like I look at opportunity vehicle as well on it, and like wholesale, your wholesale company isn't going to be something that you grow and sell sell your business to another investor. It's not worth anything. All it is just a marketing and sales organization. So that's one of the things. And Pace's thing, salespeople suck. So, like the constant churn of salespeople in a wholesale business is not really that ideal. And that's
horrible.
It's
legitimately the hardest part of running a wholesale operation is that the main component in a wholesale operation, Cody and I have done these videos on conveyor belt, is that step number 1, you can automate. Cody, in terms of leads, can you automate to a level 10, scale a level 10 by focusing, or I'm sorry, can you scale your lead generation? Can you automate your lead generation to a level 10?
I'd say maybe you could get it to a 9 or 10. Yeah.
Okay.
Like
9 to 10.
You can get there. Yeah. And the reason it's not just a set 10 is you as, the competent owner probably needs to just be checking in on industry trends of what's working good for lead generation, every
yes.
now
And this changes. I'd say that it cycles all the time, 3 to 6 months, right?
Yeah.
You might have texting that works better today. Cold calling works better today, but like it's easy to turn those on and off, right?
Yeah.
So for anybody that doesn't know, our lead generation, we go through a company called Start Virtual. I am an investor in this company. Start Virtual is who we use for our cold calling and our texting sellers. Okay. This was a game changer for us. Huge, absolutely huge. So the other 2 components to a wholesale business, you've got to generate leads. You then have to convert those leads, and then you have to sell that deal to a buyer, which would be, a lot of people call that disposition.
Yep.
This right here, this is the number 1 most challenging part of a wholesale operation to scale to anything past a 5. Like, it's crazy. What you're dealing with is you have to hire people who are kind of have the entrepreneurial bug, right?
Mm-hmm.
By the way, somebody just told me the other day, they said, entrepreneurs have a demon that has possessed them, that they wake up in the morning and they're driven no matter what. A video doesn't have to be sent to them. Nobody has to yell at them, bark at them. No external thing has to give them any motivation. It's the gremlin, the demon inside of them that just wants to go and make things happen. Would you say that's pretty accurate with yourself?
Yeah. It's like, if I had to it's like point somewhere on your, it's like if I had to point, so it's like, where does that come from? It's like this, like energy, just like it's just internal.
It's impossible to describe to somebody who doesn't have the demon.
Yeah, it's just like, it's something that's just inside, that's just always going. And like, even if you like try to be like, I'm gonna just like try to shut it off for a little bit, it just like kind of just like peeks its head up, and it's like, I have an idea,
Oh yeah.
then your mind goes and you're like, shit.
So it was interesting. The person who told me this, it was Ross from Connected Investors. I just met him 2 weeks ago at Grant Cardone's office, and he sold his business. He ended up netting in his pocket multiple 8 figures. Okay, netting after taxes, everybody's paid. Some people don't like the word that I use, the word demon. Guys, don't get hung up on the word too much. Okay, it's just an analogy. Okay, it doesn't mean that you are a demon. Okay, it's an analogy. It's okay to use analogies. Just relax. Just relax. Okay. He says the goal was, I'm done. We're gonna go buy a house in the mountains in North Carolina. He moved to Asheville, North Carolina. He's got 50 acres. They have like 4 houses on the property. And he's been doing that for 2 or 3 months. And then he goes, dude, the demon just keeps waking up inside of me. Has nothing to do with money. It has nothing to do with money. It has to do with this insatiable desire to succeed and grow and learn and become the best version of yourself. So this is the challenge. Okay. This is also the challenge, is that when you look at the acquisition people that are needed for a business to scale, these acquisition people right here also, in order to be great closers, have to have a drive inside of them. Okay. That drive, you can call it an angel. You can call it the Holy Spirit. You can call it whatever you want to call it. Sorry for using the word demon. Okay. So they have to have this drive. Otherwise, you will be begging them to make their phone calls every single day. And every day that you're talking to a salesperson, they're like, well, paste the leads, and Cody, the leads, and paste the this and the such and such. Like, bro, you haven't made more than 12 calls a day for the last 30 days. That's your problem. And then you realize they just have zero drive, and they probably should have just gone back and worked at the hospital or wherever they were working. The salespeople that you hire in this business are required to have a drive. You cannot train this. You cannot instill this. You cannot change people from a biochemical makeup. You cannot change this. They have to have the drive. And so it's a double-edged sword. That same drive is what makes them want to leave you, take everything you taught them in a 3, 6, 9-month period and go, thank you so much for cutting my learning curve by 5 years. I'm going to go do my own thing. And people, inexperienced people, I should say, inexperienced people have an opinion to share about this, where they say, well, why don't you pay them more money? Guys, these acquisition people make freaking $15,000 to $20,000 a month in commission. More money than most CEOs at most companies. They make incredible amounts of money. That is absolutely not what's keeping them or pushing them away. Okay. That is what makes this business of acquisitions, where you generate leads, you have other people, you hire these people to convert those into contracts. And then disposition, I would say disposition is scalable. Typically, the personality that's really good at disposition is not necessarily somebody that wants to leave. It's this right here. This human being right here makes it impossible to leave the business 100%. Salespeople. Okay. So that is the only bad part about wholesale. When you go back to a wholesale and you look at the scalability, it's a 6. Still pretty dang good, especially you can use virtual assistants. That's awesome. There's enough profit margin in it that you can hire people. Okay. It's also incredibly low barrier of entry. You don't need to be licensed. You can go on YouTube. There's all these amazing places you can find people to help you out, especially our Facebook group is amazing. And then the physical nature of it is you can virtually wholesale, virtually do deals all over the freaking country. It's crazy.
Yeah, I think it's obviously, it's what a lot of people listen in every week with us is, that is such a great opportunity for people to be able to have that profitability and have the low barrier to entry to get involved with. And, the scalability, that's just the part that, people have to just decide, like, what is it that you're looking to build in your life? Is it you just want to have a wholesale business because it can allow you to take home 30 grand, 40 grand a month, and that's your sole goal, is just to be able to earn a higher income and then not have to, have another job? Like, so that also comes into play when we're looking at these. Is it's like, what do people want? Like, would 5 grand a month make someone be stoked enough to just, do that for the rest of their life?
Yeah.
Like, that's the question that people have to ask. And it's like, what vehicle again can get you there?
I've got something fun. Alexis Morgan on Thursday with Alexis Morgan, I will be paying for her entire corporate structure. She reached out to me on Instagram and she said, Pace, I'm low on funds, but I have a deal coming up where I need an LLC. I don't want to buy a deal without an LLC, but I'm kind of strapped for cash. Do you have any creative solutions? I'm like, Alexis, I know you're just, asking me for money. She really wasn't. She was just really asking, like, is there a cheap way to do this? And I said, I will pay for your corporate structure on Thursday, but I want to bring as many people into that as humanly possible. Okay. So what we're going to be doing is on Thursday, anybody wants to come, I'm going to be walking through and paying for Alexis's perfect corporate structure, meaning I'm going to get her holding company set up and I'm going to get her LLC set up so that she can actually operate her business properly. That's happening on Thursday. I'll teach you guys exactly how to do that. And then Alexis is going to make some money. I mean, you won't make money. You're just going to save you a bunch of money. I'll create the Zoom link right now so you guys can save it. Yeah, very, very cool. Thank you. Yeah. Great. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I'm cool. Yeah, I'm very cool. Yeah. Is anybody else convinced that Cody's laying on the floor in a house? What are you guys doing in Costa Rica? Tell me what you guys are doing there.
I mean, we're gonna be surfing a bunch. I mean, I learned to surf last summer here, so we're gonna be surfing more. We're gonna do a waterfall hike. Gonna do some zip lining, and I mean, mainly surfing.
That's amazing, dude.
Yeah.
You're freaking kidding me? That's dope.
Yeah.
Why Costa Rica? Why not Japan? Why not like Hawaii? Why not somewhere in Europe? Why do you guys like Costa Rica?
It's like there's like multiple things to it. So where we go in Tamarindo, it has some of the best like beginner to intermediate waves where they're just consistent all day long is one of the things. Because some of those places are better to go surf, but like your boy ain't surfing 10, 15, 20-foot waves. Like I one, I don't want to die. Two, like I'm not that ambitious. Like I like to have fun with a little bit of risk, but like I'm not trying to, wild out and do those types of surfs. But that's one of the things. The food here is really good. The people are extremely friendly and nice, and the jungle's awesome too. Like you see monkeys running around. Like when we were in the forest doing zip lining, you see monkeys running around. You see sloths climbing up trees, iguanas, and just all sorts of cool wildlife. And honestly, just for the all around like food being great, it's very similar to the time zone. The biggest reason that we don't go to like Europe that frequent or like to Asia is the time zone is just so different. That would be really hard to be able to communicate with the team back at home. I do plan to disconnect, a decent amount this week, but like I still want to be able to connect and it not be 4 a.m. or 3 a.m. when I have to do that. So the time zone's also a big thing.
Is it the same time right now?
It's an hour ahead. So it's 8:30 here right now.
Nice. Okay, cool. Guys, in the side comments, you guys will see I just posted this for Alexis Morgan, Thursday, 4 p.m. The perfect company setup. It's going to be a Zoom. So unfortunately, you guys know how my Zooms go. If I do a Zoom, I have the best Zoom account. Okay. The CEO of Zoom doesn't have as good of a Zoom account as I do. So do not tell me to upgrade my Zoom account. I will karate chop you. I have the greatest Zoom account. Okay. We will be setting up the perfect company setup on Thursday, 4 p.m. You can see it. Somebody's going to ask what day? It's right there on the screen, Thursday. Somebody's going to ask what time? It's 4 p.m. And unfortunately, every time I do one of these Zooms, 1,000 people or more come in. So please do not be one of those people that says, Pace, I came at 4:05 and I couldn't get in. I'm not going to answer that DM. I'm getting too old for this. Okay. I'm not my 40s are knocking on my door. It's happening. I'm going to be turning 40. It's going to happen. Not this year, but some year. Okay. So that's happening on Thursday, just FYI. It is completely free for any of you knuckleheads out there. Like, oh, they're going to try and sell something. No, we're not trying to sell something. I just want to help Alexis, and I want to show you guys how to do it too, so we can stop having the conversation of how to set up your businesses properly. Okay. Cody will probably post more pics on his Instagram than he normally does. He's actually not very consistent. He'll go weeks sometimes without posting on his stories.
Yeah. I get into a flow and I'm like, I'm just working. And I mean, is that stuff that's actually interesting to people? Like,
bro, people are interested in everything. I don't want to talk to anybody anymore. I just want to see what your stories are telling me you're doing.
I'm just like, you can see my calendar.
Yeah. I mean, actually, I don't think I have access to your calendar.
Really?
Maybe I
think you do.
Probably. It was the problem is when your calendar is on top of my calendar, I can't see anything. It's like there's too many things going on that I'm like, this is chaotic. It's absolutely chaotic.
Yeah.
Oh, Tony Counts is here. Are you kidding me? Come here. Come say hi to Cody.
Everyone's harassing my wall. Hey.
Hi.
Naturally, Naturally, the week that I'm out of town, you're in town. I was so sad.
I know, right?
What? Yeah, that's so weird. She's here the whole week, bro. We're having a party on Thursday.
It's gonna be great. She's there for a new hire that's starting tomorrow. So we're super stoked about that.
So she handles my all my money, and she sees me make a significant payment on this house every month. And she's coming into town and she's like, oh, I'm staying at a hotel. I'm like, no, you're not. Stay in my guest house. She's like, are you sure? I'm like, it's the only reason I bought this house is to have a guest house. So people, our team members, our business partners can stay. And then I also bought the Kia. It's a dope Kia, by the way. I saw it. It's legit. It's super bougie. That's okay. We got bikinis here.
She's gonna be like, hey, I'm gonna go get a hotel tonight. I finally met Corbin and Monday.
You just got the squad in the studio with you?
Yeah, they got the squad. I didn't know Tony was going to be here at this time. We had like a crazy storm. I thought her. Oh wow, Tony's awesome, huh?
I brought her a baby gator.
Oh, you did?
It's really cute.
Wow. I was thinking you were going to bring your husband.
No.
That's too bad.
I'm just gonna be working anyway.
Arizona. Should we have an Arizona? I think I might have an Arizona sub 2 party. Should we have a sub 2 party here? Yeah. Okay, we'll have a sub. Are you okay? My wife looked at me and was like, "Are you serious?"
Once I'm back, I want to go. Unless it's going to be this week. Then
Thursday. Okay, guys. Thursday, we're going to be doing a party at my house. Thursday night. Why not Friday? Because Tony's leaving on Friday. So we're going to do a party at my house. If you guys are in Arizona, come to my house. Sub 2 students. I'll give you guys the address in the Facebook group. It'll be a lot of fun. Please don't bring your hookah. Okay. The people 300 people that joined late to the show have no idea what we're talking about, and that's okay. Radatum says put the address in there. In here, you mean? Had somebody knock on our door today. Had somebody knock on our door 2 weeks ago. I wasn't home. Somebody knocks on our door and goes, "Hey, so I saw you on TV, and I'm here to see if you wouldn't mind borrowing us or loaning $200." I'm like, you broke into my neighborhood for $200 and you came to bother me for $200? The amount of time you put into this and figuring out where I lived, you could have begged for money on the street for more than $200. It's crazy. Paulina says she'll take a flight. Oh, I would love to see you guys. We usually have 300 people come to these parties. They get crazy, like a bunch of. Do we have alcohol usually these parties?
Yeah, there's usually alcohol, and there's usually Pace jumping off like fully dressed from like his balcony into the pool.
Yeah. Non-drinking. I don't drink. Everybody, half the people drink, half the people don't drink. We have kids that we bring, all that kind of stuff. So sub 2 students, we'd love to see you guys Thursday. What I'll do is I'll do a Zoom at like 4 to 5. And then at 5 to 7, we'll have tacos and hang out. Can I bring my team? Please, no. No. Sub 2 students and your spouses and kids only. Okay. I don't want your team there. I'm sorry. I don't know your team. They haven't signed any documents with me that they're not going to kill me. You have. Okay. Very, very important. All right. I'd love to see everybody there. Melissa Leek says, Pace, I'm too bad I'm in Jersey. And I had another meetup in Saddlebrook, New Jersey Marriott Hotel today. Great meetup when you and Jamil visited. We should have had an after party at that time. Yes, we should have. That was a really fun meetup. We ended up having like 500 people show up at this New Jersey meetup. It was crazy. Wow. Crazy. They had to change venues twice.
Wow.
It was crazy. And then we did a New York meetup the next day, and Medium Wave Dave got us a rooftop bar in Soho. Bro, oh my freaking gosh, it was so great. It was an amazing meetup. So
that's sick.
We'd love to see you guys. If you're a sub 2 student, Thursday, my house, 5 o'clock, we will be doing only 2 hours, just hanging out for a couple hours, eating, meeting everybody, and then out. I got to fly. I got to be on set Friday, and then I got to fly to speak Friday night. So I don't need to be staying up late. You know what I'm saying? Adriana says, I need a new expense line item on my budget. Quick trip to Arizona. Yeah, you're welcome to come.
That's great.
Oh, shoot. This is a great point. How far am I from Buckeye? Isn't Buckeye in California?
Oh my God. About 45 minutes to an hour. There's your answer for how far from Buckeye.
Let's see. Who knows when the meetup's happening? Do you know when the meetup's happening or you don't know?
But for Keighley, I am not aware on that one.
Okay, let's see if I can find this out. Dang it.
Yeah, once you pull that up, was there anything else we wanted to rank on that scale of 1 to 10 from like the vending machines or laundromats or any of that?
Why did you like that concept?
Yeah, I like that. I think it just gets people thinking, because people get like this tunnel vision of like, this is like a thing that I could do, but kind of expanding and like hearing thoughts based on the actual experience that we've been through on those things.
Wednesday. Okay. Wednesday, we will be doing a Wednesday meetup at my house, not Thursday. I'm correcting it right now. Somebody's going to say, I heard Pace say Thursday. I'm correcting it right now. Wednesday, my house. Okay. Wednesday, my house. Okay. Cool. Yeah. The other ones I was thinking about, so trailer rental. So the trailer rental is something we're actively doing right now.
Yeah.
Let's go back through this. Okay. Here's the rating system.
You're going to have to answer on that, because I haven't done that, but I'm curious. So for those that hopped in, we've been rating different opportunity vehicles for people to get into against real estate, whether it's cash creative, like wholesaling, buy and hold.
Okay. So, oops, my bad. I don't want to do that. So this one's a good one. So physically, Asher has not met a single renter at the trailer one time. Not a single time, not even in the beginning. We set it up for scalability. So we put up an unlisted YouTube video that explains like where to get the key, what to do this. We have a tracker on the trailer, all that stuff. They're supposed to clean the trailer, put it back in their spot. They take a photo, and it's a good little system. The physical nature of this business, I would say, is a 1. You can legitimately run an entire heavy equipment rental business, never even meeting your clients. You have to have a level of trust, though. You have to be like, okay, I'm okay with giving somebody a lockbox code to the key. Okay. You have to be okay with that. They give you a $300 non-refundable deposit, or the refundable deposit once they bring it back. I would say it's a 1. Real estate and cash and creative, I would say it's a -1. What are your thoughts on physical nature of a trailer rental business?
Yeah, I mean, I would say pretty much that same range. I mean, 1 to 2, just because at some point you had to buy the trailer and then tow it
Yep.
somewhere and place it somewhere. Like there's some physical effort that had to be put in, but after that, it seems uh, pretty simple.
Yes. Okay. Barrier to entry. This one is going to be pretty high. Okay. So I'm going to give it 2 different ratings. There's 2 trailers we currently have right now. We have 1 trailer I paid $12,500 for, and that is a high barrier of entry to most people. Okay. And also, you have to have a driver's license to drive that trailer around and do all these things, or somebody with the driver's license. So I would say that one barrier to entry is probably a good 6 to a 7. However, we have another trailer that we are currently arbitraging from somebody who owned a trailer and wasn't using it. I would say that the barrier entry there is a 1 to 2, because you have to at least learn how to convince somebody to let them use your trailer to then let somebody else use that trailer. But $0. And the split for this is 50-50. So what we did is Asher and I found somebody that has a trailer. It's been sitting in their side yard. They have a dump trailer, same size as my dump trailer, and it sits there. I drive by it every single day. Easy. That's an easy sale, but you still have to at least learn what to say. Okay. What platform do you use? Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist. It is so simple. It's ridiculous. David Sierra says, yeah, isn't it like $350 a month financed? Yeah, but I swiped an American Express on that bad boy and bought it cash. So I don't know, but yeah, basically insurance. My insurance on this is, I think it's $400 a year. So it's like a little under $30 or under $40 a month. It's very inexpensive. And my insurance rep knows that we're renting it out. That's the other cool thing about it. They know we're renting it out. They know people are taking it. So what are your thoughts on barrier to entry here, Cody? What do you like?
Yeah, so on the barrier to entry, I think, yeah, I mean, I would even argue that it could, on that 12,500, because it can be financed, could even be lower. Like I feel like it could be a 4 to 5. I mean, obviously, if someone has at least decent credit where they could get it financed, and then obviously on the arbitrage opportunity, then there's that 1 to 2. I think on the arbitrage, I think that's an appropriate rating, and I think on the 12.5 on the purchase, I would say because it could be financed, that it could be like a 4 or 5. So I'd give it a little bit easier rating, because I don't think it would be that hard for someone to get financing for $12,000 on something versus financing a property or financing a car that's like a $40,000 or $50,000 car or something.
Yeah, a lot of people are asking what kind of trailer is it. Let me show you guys real quick. I showed this to the Gator tribe this morning. I did a nice little 3-hour training. It was great. That was a great hangout session this morning. Okay, so let's see here. Let's make this full screen for you guys. All right. So these are the trailers right here. I paid $12,500 for mine, but now a lot of them are selling for like $13,000, $14,000. So the same ones. Mine's a Big Tex, so it's really good name brand. 7x14 high side. Let's see if they have the price. So some of these trailers, 19 grand, 12 grand. So yeah, $13,000 roughly. Okay. These are the trailers. You want the ones that actually lift. This is what people love. People are Americans, guys. They don't want to do the physical work themselves of going to the dump. So they go to the dump, but they have a little button inside this little cage right down here, and it dumps everything out for them. To them, if you think about it, that alone saves them the labor of hours of taking things and shoveling out at the dump, or like putting rocks in and shoveling rocks out. What is cool about my trailer too is it lets out a very little, as much gravel at a time as you want. So you like open up the back just a little bit and it'll start pouring gravel, and you just drive really slowly and it'll spread the gravel for you across the whole property. So it's worth it for $75 to $150. Okay. And I'm going to tell you guys the truth on this. Asher's lazy. Don't tell Asher I told you. Okay. He lives in a decent house. He eats decent food. He dresses however he wants. This dude doesn't need money. You know what I'm saying? He's like some of you guys. He's got the golden handcuffs. Y'all got really good 9-to-5 jobs. Maybe you guys got a sugar daddy, maybe a sugar mama if you're lucky, and you don't have to go and earn money. And so a lot of you guys are sitting there going, well, man, why is my business not taking off? It's like, because you got the golden handcuffs. Your life's too good to make a change. And that's kind of Asher. What he fails to do is he fails to post Facebook ads all the time. And what'll happen is he'll go through a lull of like 3 or 4 days of no rentals. And I'll go, well, how's the trailer doing today? He's like, oh, nobody's rented it. I'm like, well, when's the last time you posted? He's like, a week ago. I'm like, you have to post 3 times a day, bro. 3 times a day. So, what happens is you end up building a pipeline. So we have one customer right now that rents the trailer. He's like 40% of the business. He comes and rents it for like literally 8-9 days a month, 4 months in a row. This dude, same like clockwork, right? So Asher goes, oh, perfect. These are the greatest lessons for kids to learn. Oh, this client is amazing. This is going to go on forever. How many times have we learned this in business, guys? Do not rest on your laurels. So Asher's sitting there. Last month, he netted $1,500, netted, like after everything, right? Netted $1,500. And I'm like, how many months or how many days did you rent it out? And he's like, I rented it almost the whole month. But then he started giving people discounts and stuff because they were like, well, how much are you renting it for? And he was desperate to get them to get into the day to rental. So he was discounting it all the way down to $75 when it should be rented for $125. So these are lessons to teach a child of like, you got to keep your pipeline full. You know what I'm saying? So these are the reasons why I'm doing it. And what I did with Asher is I'm on an 80-20 split with him. Jennifer Bonner says, who's Asher? Great question. Asher is my son. He's 14 years old. Great question. So I'm doing this deal with Asher where I'm the investor. So I'm 80% of the income. He's 20% of the income until my original investment is made back. When my original investment is made back, we go to 50-50. And then out of the 50% that he gets, he has to take 50% of that. I'm sorry, he has to take 80% of his 50% and invest it into passive real estate for him and his sisters long term. So it's teaching him how to do things that, you know, I never learned. So I think a lot of young men, I was telling the Gators this morning, I think a lot of young men getting older are fearful of getting married because they're so fearful of making money to support a household and children and insurance and all these types of things. And so I'm trying to teach Asher how to take care of those responsibilities from a very, very young age.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. You and I learned how to physically do physical blue collar work, which is nothing wrong with it, except it's not scalable.
No, not doing it by yourself, not doing it yourself.
Not doing yourself. We were taught, freak it, I'll just do it myself.
If the job's gonna get done right, gotta do it myself. That was my dad's battle cry.
It still is your dad's battle cry, and it's still my dad's battle cry. My dad just my dad's building cabinets, and he just sprayed my cabinets in my house. And I'm like, for how hard this guy works, you know what I'm saying? So he chose a vehicle that's non-scalable, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we're talking about vehicles, the vehicle of real estate has autopilot. The vehicle of blue collar work or a lot of this other stuff it doesn't have autopilot. Okay. In fact, some of it, you feel like you're the Flintstones. You're freaking pushing it along with your feet. It sucks. Okay. Yeah, I heard this last week, and my 8-year-old would like to rent out our utility trailer when we are not using it for our fix and flips. Yeah, it's good. The challenge is timing your rentals to meet up with when you're not using your trailer was really hard for me. We were using my trailer. I don't know if you knew this. We were using my trailer for like 6 or 7 months. What happened? Here's what happened. I buy the trailer. I have a good buddy, Jeff Dumas. You know Jeff Dumas.
Yeah.
So Jeff Dumas tells me, he's like, I'm making $5,000 a month on my trailer. And I'm like, that's really good money. Really? Are you being serious? You're making that kind of money? He's like, well, I've had a $5,000 a month, but I'm really bringing in about $4,000. I'm like, dang, bro, those trailers are like 12 grand. He's like, yeah, I got 4 of them. I'm like, wait, you're telling me you're making 16 grand a month from 4 trailers? He's like, well, I'm not there yet. One of my trailers is rented out all the time. And it's because not only do I post all the time, but I've built up return clients. And he's like, I've learned that 30% of my business comes from repeat clients, but I got to keep going out and finding the other 70%. So he goes out and gets another trailer, but he hasn't gotten to a point where all of his trailers are always rented out. But one of them is $4,000. And so I look at Asher and I'm like, dude, you're at $1,500 a month right now. You should be at $4,000 a month within 3-4 months. The problem is I buy the trailer. Anna calls me up. She goes, hey, can we borrow that trailer I just saw you buy on Instagram? And so Benny and the crew borrowed that trailer for nearly 8 months. Actually, it sat at your house working on the house that you guys just renovated for your personal house. It sat at your driveway for like 4 months.
I don't even know what they weren't even using it. It was just like sitting. It was just like parked there.
Right. I should have charged you $125 a day.
That's when I didn't even learn that was your trailer until like, I think you were like, hey, like, what is my trailer ever coming back? I thought it was Benny's. I was like, what? Every
time I went over to your house, like check in on the renovation of that property and like just to see how well it was turning out, I looked at that trailer and I was like, that's $1,500 a month sitting here, like just chilling, you know?
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, so I feel like the trailer business has, like, if you really think about the cash on cash return, the profitability of a trailer,
stupid good,
bro. If you buy one for 12 grand, right? And let's say you do
is it heavy? Is it considered heavy equipment where you can get 100%?
Yeah, I got 100%.
That's interesting.
Cody's like, I might want to buy this. Well, you're gonna have to have here's the thing, you're gonna have a son, okay? That's the problem with this. Okay, you have to go get a son.
I have a 13-year-old cousin.
Oh, perfect. Or you guys you and Hayel can go. You know what is that called? Not donate. What's the word I'm looking for?
Adopt.
Adopt. That's the word. That's the word. That's the word. I'm sorry. So that $12,500. If you go the lazy Asher way at $1,500 a month, what is that for the year? $15,000, $18,000.
Yeah.
And that's lazy. That's lazy. Jeff Dumas brings in $48,000 a year on one of his trailers on a $12,500 investment. So what is that cash on cash return? 400%, 300 and something percent. Let's see. Let's do the math on this. 12,500 divided by 48,000. No, other way around. 48,000, sorry, divided by 12,500. 384% cash on cash return.
Wow.
Jackie just says, how big are these trailers? Jackie, we just showed you, we actually went to Google and did a screen share, showed you exactly what kind of trailers. Okay. So, 48 grand. That's a killer return. I mean, even at Asher's return of 18,000, what is that? 18,000 divided by 12.5. Your cash on cash return is 144%. Dude.
Excellent.
I would say the only thing that even comes close to this is real estate. Like on fix and flips, cash on cash return is infinite because we're not putting any money in those.
Yeah.
On buy and holds, for a lot of our sub 2 and seller finance deals, we weren't putting any of our own cash in those.
Yeah.
So another infinite return. But even then, like the appreciation on these properties keeps going up. Like I looked at Sonnet today, bro. I was like, what a great deal.
Do you want to sell that, or what do you want to do with it?
How much equity do we have in that deal?
There's like 250 grand.
where the question is, where are you going to, you want to go buy 25 trailers? Is that what's going on?
I don't know.
Where do you put the capital?
Roll it into 1031 it into some other real estate deal.
And the thing is, June, the seller gave us such great terms on that deal.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, why do you really want to get rid of that loan?
That's the hard challenge on that one. It's
Because
like
that one's 0%, right?
no, that one's at 2%, but it has a 5-year balloon.
It has a 5-year balloon if it actually appraises, which it will, of course.
Yeah. So
2%.
That's the challenge. Is it with the terms that we have at 2% interest? If we look at is the best use of capital there, or would that $250,000 be able to be used in something that would be able to generate a significantly better return? That's the question. Over time, or rolling it into, I mean, whether it's a commercial building or whether it's rolling part of that. Can you, and this is a question I have for you, Pace, on this, because just on some of the multifamily stuff, can we roll that 250,000 into a deal that we also syndicate with a few other investors?
No.
Okay.
Because it has to be like for like.
Okay.
So we'd have to go single family to single family.
Okay.
So that is the challenge with, making the transition from single family to multifamily, which, we're starting to, is that you'll have a lot less things that you can 1031 into. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Here's how you make that. You want to hear how you break that barrier? I talked to a 1030
and buy other stuff.
That is hack number one. Hack number two is what you do is you go buy kind of like Hobson, right? The duplex we got on Hobson.
Oh, I love that deal.
You go buy Hobsons like that, like duplexes with land that is there. You can turn into a fourplex. You can roll your money into a duplex like Hobson, and then it's a single family, like for like. You get the 1031 exchange into that deal. You then can go convert that property into a multifamily deal by building on the same property. And yet now you've got multifamily that you can start now rolling over into multifamily.
I like that.
Nobody taught me that. I just was like, how do we get around some of these single family 1031s rolling into multifamily? And that's the way I came up with it. And I talked to an intermediary and he's like, that's genius. Do you mind if I tell that to my other clients? I was like, sure. David Sierra says someone is renting a dump trailer for $250 a day. Yeah, it depends on where you're at, guys. It depends on where you're at. Phoenix is highly competitive, so $75 to $125 a day is actually very good. 125 is very good. 75 a day is the lowest I've ever rented it for. But if you're somewhere else in the country, you might be able to rent them for $250. If you're in El Paso, it's probably dump trailers is how people, move. They don't have U-Haul there. I don't know. So, great conversation. So, anyway, you know what? I'm going to bounce. I think we wrap up tonight. I want to go hang out with Tony before she goes to bed. Cause unfortunately I have to fly to Orlando to speak at Los's event tomorrow morning. Mm-hmm. If I don't talk to her now, I won't see her for 3 days. So guys, we're going to wrap up Sunday service tonight. We will see you Thursday. We're going to be talking about the perfect corporate structure. I'm paying for Alexis Morgan's entity setup. I'm going to show you guys exactly how an entity should be set up. Hint number one, don't do it yourself. Don't be a dummy and do it yourself. Okay. Can you elaborate on how you set up this trailer storage? How is land designated by the county and city? S&H, I would venture to say that you overthink several things in your life. I'm very sorry to say that, but it's probably very true. Would you consider yourself an overthinker? Okay. I would be happy. Here's what I'll do is on a future episode of Sunday Service, I will bring Asher in and we will break down the business and just show you guys how to creatively make money. How about that? All right.
How about that?
Catch me outside Thursday, 4 p.m. We're going to show you guys on a Zoom how to set up a perfect company structure. And I'll be paying for that for Alexis Morgan just to give back a little bit of money. All right. You guys are amazing. Cody, good luck in Costa Rica. Your girlfriend always does the right thing and makes sure that you are creating a little bit of balance in your life. And she's always giving you activities. So you're not just a boring old white guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. That's exactly what she's trying to help me do. It's like, you have to do stuff in life besides
She's
just,
amazing.
yeah.
All right, guys, have a great night. See ya.
Hey.